fast and as hard away from God as you can possibly run. I mean, everything from drugs to violence, sleeping in his car. This dude had dreadlocks down to, it looked scary and was scary. He's like a big teddy bear. I mean, he's not soft like a teddy bear because you're ripped, but like he's like his heart. I'm going to tell you, his heart is like a teddy bear. Okay, listen. This is Jesus, and a lot of you say this about Jesus, okay? You're in this life, even those of you that come here and you've been coming here forever and you're like, rock's my home and God's God and I worship, but yet you still kind of think this is what it's like. I'm just going to roll the thing and hopefully 2, interesting, 3 times around him. You're just like, oh, I made it, man. God, I'm just, come on, you got to help me. This is like, I made it. And you just feel like God's over here and this is Jesus and he's just watching you, just shaking his head, kind of maybe smiling. And I'm going to tell you what Jesus is doing. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you know that story? 3 guys that served God. They were young men. The king said, I want you to worship an idol I made of me. And they said, we're not doing it. So the king said, I want you to bow. They stood. Said, okay, because you stand, I'm throwing you into the furnace. These 3 young men stood up and said, King, you can throw us in the furnace. And if we die, we die. Maybe God will save us. But irregardless, we will never bow to anybody but Jesus Christ. So their circumstance did not dictate the environment. They allowed their conviction. I see their perspective was that God is God. And so we're just going to do this. And you know what happened? They got thrown into the furnace. But you know what's interesting about that? Everybody looked in the furnace. Didn't we throw 3 guys? How come there's 4? See, what we want, God, take us out of the furnace. Don't even let us into the furnace. But God goes into the furnace with us. Check this out. Jesus is like this. You know what I mean? So I'm here, we're here together, and I spend 5. Crazy. And I'm like doing that. That wasn't scary at all for me. I'm like, this is cool. I can do this. I can do this all day. That didn't bother me at all. How about you? All right. Okay, I want you just to look. Okay, I intentionally asked Loris to be Jesus for a minute because I see Jesus in you, brother. I do. I want you to see something. Look at this. He's up here. I mean, like 10 years ago, I'd have been like, right? Am I right?
That's true.
I got my bulletproof vest. Hey, 10 years ago, this dude wouldn't have responded this way. This guy can respond this way the same way Jesus does. He's with us in the mess. Okay, and he's just like, I love these guys. I love these guys. Let me help you out. Looks good. If I had chocolate whipped cream, wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? This dude, to me, I see Jesus in this man. I watch him love his wife. I watch him love his triplets. And this is a guy, all his circumstances were pointing him in one direction. And he's like, I'm not going to allow... Perspective is going to change right here, right now. And his perspective was focused and aligned with Jesus Christ. And as a result, he stands there on this stage, a redeemed man. Not perfect. I mean, just ask his wife. He's really not perfect. I would say he's not perfect, okay? That's not the idea, but the idea is he embraced Jesus with him, okay, in this. He didn't say, God, I'm going to go get cleaned up, then I'll give you a call. No, he acknowledged the perspective is this. I can't get out of this. This is a mess I'm stuck in. But I'm not in this, just gritting my teeth, turning this, going, man, I hope it doesn't. That's not how you have to do life. And some of you are doing life like that, and you got to stop. It stops here, it stops now. You understand me? Okay, because he's not looking at the furnace going, good luck, guys. And he didn't even keep him from the furnace. He's like, you guys are going in the furnace? I'm going in the furnace. I was on Wednesday night, I was in a memorial. I was at a memorial service with a young man, 10 years old, and his body was there. We could see it because it was open, but he wasn't. And his mom and dad have to say goodbye to a 10-year-old. And I watched his dad stand in front of everyone in that hall and say, you know what? I am so thankful God gave us 10 years with this young man. He was amazing. He was amazing. That's perspective. Perspective changed everything. Or God, screw you. You took my 10-year-old. Different perspective. You know, on Wednesday or Thursday, I sat with a woman who, you know what, the day after Thanksgiving is for her? Oh, it would have been her 37-year wedding anniversary. Right? But on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, we said goodbye to her husband, who had a painful death of cancer. And we went in and His body was there, but it just didn't look like him because his spirit was with the Lord. Because he loved God and spent his days, even in cancer, serving God. And his wife, Michelle, beautiful Michelle, said, "Oh, Ricky, I just wish I could be there." When I saw him see God for the first time, Charles just has this electric smile. He's a real quiet guy with just this beautiful smile. Can you imagine? She's telling me, man, I'm mad at you, God. We almost made 37 years and you took him. Or, God, thank you that my husband is with you. You guys, please change your perspective. He changed his perspective. And as a result, you got 3 beautiful little offspring that are going to love Jesus because their mom and dad love Jesus.
Amen.
They're not going to be living in a truck, looking for drugs, looking for the next fix. They're going to love Jesus. Thank God. So, hey, family, I want you to do me a favor, okay? I'm going to ask you all to bow your heads and close your eyes. And if you're in this place and you're part of our leadership team of any form, if you're in any way, shape, or form, if you serve here, hospitality, altar call, whatever, band, could you please be in the middle or just be available in the middle aisles?